All right, this is not that. Sorry about that. This is Real to Real Talk. I am your host, Paul Britton. Apologies for that. Sergio and I basically share the same streaming platform stuff, and he started a new show. And whatever he did to the new show, whatever he did, overwrote. Well, you know what? We're gonna figure it out, but that's for another time. Right now, uh, you know where you are. You know where you are. We're real talk. We're doing movie reviews. It was weird, but you know what? I'm still here. And that happens to be the movie that we're going to be doing. The movie we're reviewing today is I'm Still Here. It is a movie from Brazil, based on a super real and super disturbing true story about a a but he was a politician, uh sort of not so much a revolutionary, but just like a common sense person who thinks that hey, things like dictators and fascists are bad in Brazil. And at the time of the military coup in Brazil in the mid 60s, he was a congressman. He was a leftist. Let's just say what he is. He was a leftist, and he 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 did things that the state didn't appreciate, and so he was booted from the he was booted from Congress, and was sent into exile. He actually ended up coming back into the country, and just kind of said, just going to be an engineer again. And so he went back to his life. He designed bridges and tunnels and stuff. He went back to his life prior to becoming a congressman. And but also while he was doing that, unbeknownst to his family, Rubens Paiva, Paiva, yeah, Rubens Paiva is the name of the politician. He he was not being subversive as much as just trying to make life easier for people who were being subversive. How's that? Basically, he was just funneling letters surreptitiously from political prisoners to the families. That was it, and they collected him up, and while being tortured, he happened to die, and his family had no idea what happened. He they and the state obviously refused to acknowledge that they even arrested him. And they and it's that's the story. It's the story of one family's struggle to continue on with life when one of their family members are disappeared by fascists. And unfortunately, it's a lesson that people might need to here in the United States might need to be concerned with going forward. Let's face it, there are we look, our current political climate is not devoid of fascists, let's just say. Okay. And so uh Point being, it's a very germane movie to the situations, unfortunately, that may or may not be happening here in the United States. This movie is nominated. Again, it came out of Brazil, so it's the Brazilian nominee. It was the Brazilian submission for Best International Feature, and is actually a nominee in the Best International Feature. It's also nominated for Best Picture, and the matriarch of the family, played by Fernanda Torres, is nominated for Best Actress, and she's fantastic. I have to say that if I were to look at the Best Actress current folks. We've got Wicked, Cynthia Erivo. We've got Emilia Perez. I'm just gonna skip over that. We've got Honora, Mikey Madison. We've got The Substance, Demi Moore, and we've got I'm Still Here, Fernando Torres. My number one pick is Mikey Madison. If you're not going to give it to Mikey Madison, I feel like Fernando Torres deserves it. She really is just absolutely captivating and fascinating, and really, and so like you know the act. So the first act is, hey, let's introduce the family, and here's the father. Act 2 is the father has disappeared, and then the mother's taken for a little bit, and then Act 3 is kind of like the family, years later, what are they still dealing with? And we find out that what ends up happening is that the mother becomes a lawyer. Like, she goes to law school and then becomes like an indigenous rights lawyer. Like, I would love to watch the movie about just her becoming an indigenous rights lawyer at the age of 48. I don't know, like, that seems like fascinating to me. That's not the story that they tell, obviously, but it is an intriguing story. And yeah, this is a really good movie. I don't know what to tell you. The performances from the lead, she has to carry the movie because she has to carry the family, and that in itself is just it's not an easy task, and it is done so well. It's just an absolutely compelling and captivating story and performance. And I really liked it. I'm so glad I was able to sneak away briefly to go see it. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to. It finally came here to South Florida this weekend, and I did. And that's why I'm here. Like, this is going to be a super quick episode. I'm just telling you right now. So even though the intro was weird, we're going to go ahead and do our standard stuff here and not try to do something different. Here at Real to Real Talk, we do tacos instead of stars. And if we feel like something deserves a little extra, we'll throw guac on there rather than doing a half a taco. Why? Because nobody eats half a fucking taco. This one is a 4 tacos plus guac. It's a solid 4 taco movie. And then the lead actress is just so fucking good that I'm just, man, I like it. It's one of those where you're sitting in the theater and you're just like, this is just my kind of person, and it's not easy, and she does such a good job with it. Next up, it's super fast. Kind of Pregnant was released on Netflix. It's from it's written by Amy Schumer, starring Amy Schumer, produced by Adam Sandler. That explains why it's on Netflix. If you don't know, Adam Sandler has a huge production deal with Netflix, so neither here nor there. So in Kind of Pregnant, Amy Schumer plays a woman who has reached her 40s. And we're set up with an establishing shot of her as a little girl, like 10, I guess, playing with their Cabbage Patch dolls and with her best friend. And she is, establishing that the one thing that I want to do more than anything is have babies. I want to be a mom. I want to have babies, and I love the idea of being pregnant, and that's what I want to do. Fast forward, we see that she's hopeful that she's going to get married. She's not pregnant yet. We find out that her best friend is pregnant. She doesn't know yet. But she thinks she's going to be getting engaged. That falls apart, and her life instantly falls apart. And at the same time, she has to deal with the fact that she has to be happy for her best friend who's now pregnant. when she's the one that wants to be pregnant. So this is kind of like like the vibes that you get from Bridesmaids, and including the fact that there's another they're both teachers at the same school. There's another teacher who's much younger than they are, who also happens to be pregnant. And so like we even get that from Bridesmaids, where it's like, oh, the best friend's being taken away by the other person. This is basically Bridesmaid for pregnant people, except what ends up happening is Amy Schumer then, while helping her friend decide, is trying on the pregnancy clothes, but by wearing a fake baby bump, and gets mistaken for being pregnant, and decides, I actually kind of liked being mistaken for being pregnant for a minute. And so she decides to like go to a pregnancy yoga class and then makes friends with a pregnant person and has to actually pretend to be pregnant, falls for the pregnant friend's brother and still has to pretend to be pregnant. And obviously everything falls apart when she has to tell the truth, because she's obviously not pregnant. Look, this is the most cringy movie I may have ever seen in my entire life. Like, yes, there are situations. This is a situationally funny movie. And there are lines that are funny, but as a whole, the movie is not at all funny. It's just really cringy. And it turns out that pretending to be pregnant is neither an endearing nor a good idea, and actually is really fucking cringy. Who knew that would have negative consequences? And so I like at one point, while the movie's going on, as we were entering the third act, I just stood up and walked away and said, I just need to get away from this movie. And I powered through, and I got to the end, and I'm giving it 1 taco plus guac, because there were funny moments. Like, if it hadn't been funny at all, it would have been like just a 1 taco movie. But I'm gonna the funny, and I actually do like Amy Schumer, and I want like good things for Amy Schumer. But at some point, somebody needed to say, you know what, this is just not something that needs to be made, and we're good. So yeah, that yeah. Kind of pregnant. It's kind of a movie, and it's not one that I will ever visit again. Hey, this has been Really Real Talk. Next week, we've got Sergio coming on. We're going to do the new Captain America movie, and we've also got a streamer coming to Apple that I'm excited to talk about with Sergio. So that's what we got next week. We'll have the media stuff sorted out and corrected by then. So yeah, go